Well, hello, my wonderful hive. Good morning, and welcome to my latest reaction video. Today, we will be finishing up the part one of my Debunking Dorothy or B+ Reacts, Surviving the Storm Exposed, or whatever title I end up choosing for this. We're going to continue on that. I'm so sorry about the interruption yesterday with my dog throwing up. So let's finish this off this morning. And hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend so far. It is a beautiful Saturday morning where my hive is located. So let's kick it off as we always do, shall we? Let's get this party started.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The royal hostess with the mostest. The queen bee with the money, honey.
B+.
That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real queen bee.
Here comes the most beautiful bee in the universe.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
All right, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. So, of course, as usual, we have a few matters of hive keeping to go over before we get started. And my cat is going to be incredibly annoying. If it's not one animal, it's another. And now Chicory's going to, he's rubbing his face on the laptop. He's going to try to sit on the keyboard.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting.
See, this is what he did. Thank you, Chicory. Chicory's like, this is my stream. This is my stream, bitch. Like, it is my turn to be the star. Chicory, you can be the star later. Oh my god. I already fed you. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so hive keeping business. So first and foremostly, please like this video right the fuck now. I know you want to like this video. Or thumbs down, whatever you're into. I mean, I don't, like button shame over here. Whichever way that you'd like to do that, but please hit that thumbs up in one way or another. Also, if you are, oh my god, Chicory! Oh, I am not the one this morning. If you have not subscribed to my channel and you want to hear my silly antics and my pets ruin everything and, pretty much exemplify why we can't have nice things, please hit that subscribe button right now. This Debunking Dorothy series is going to be quite the marathon. This is not a race. It is a marathon. Isn't that the thing? Isn't that the term? I don't fucking know. It's too early. Working on my caffeine. So yes. So we are going to get into the rest of this video. I do want to make clear before we get back on this is that I shoehorned a particular clip into this video because I thought it was important for people to hear first and foremostly. But what I didn't remember to do is add the other supporting clips that I have. So I got a lot of comments in my comment section this morning pointing this out to me, and I want to clear it up before people are like, completely write off what I have to say based on it. So that point being about Dorothy and her rent and the fact that she says she's owned her trailer, her home. I understand that they are, you can't just park your trailer thing wherever. Like, you have to pay, kind of like condo homeowners association stuff. You have to pay like fees to go on that. So I get that. I do. But what I want to make clear, and I also I have supporting clips for this. Just bear with me. They're in one of these videos somewhere. I want to make it, first point out that she uses the fact that she owns everything and has worked for everything that she has. And yeah, basically to throw it in Jess's face. She's used it as a put down. She's used it as a way to talk herself up as being superior to other people. And I just wanted to point out that, maybe that's not the case. But also when I think of somebody's rent, right? So I know cost of living is different wherever you go in the country, but where I live, a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom is going to be costing you bare minimum $1,000 a month. Bare minimum. Good luck finding one that is less than that. That isn't in a terrible neighborhood or falling apart. That is just how it is where I live. So when somebody says to me that their rent is due, I immediately think of thousands of dollars. And that's a lot of money. So that's what I think of. And that gets an emotional response from me because I'm like, wow, this person is short that much money. Wow. I should help them. I feel like that's a little bit deceiving, saying that like you know what I mean? Do you guys get what I'm throwing down here? Like that plus her using it as a put down when it's not entirely the case. Like she says that you'll see. She has said that she doesn't have like fees or things that because she's an adult and she paid for everything outright. And, now she's saying that she needs you to pay her internet. And, this is also a woman who gave me feedback when I first started that I shouldn't be dropping my Cash App, my Venmo, or any sort of wish list. That was one of her biggest gripes with Jess at first. Or I'm sure it still continues to be, even though she does it herself now, is that that Jess would do that. And she said that she did not believe that it was appropriate for somebody to do that. Or ask for money because YouTube has a system in place and you need to pay your, quote, ironically, rent to be here, and they take that percentage from you. And now she is constantly dropping, and this is before her medical issue. This has been since she started hanging out with Natasha. Her chat is a constant barrage of her wish lists, her Cash App link, and so on and so forth. So this is a woman who was adamantly against this and is now pushing it harder than I've seen anybody push something besides Natasha. And that also doesn't sit well with me. So I feel like it's deceitful. I feel, and you guys will see the video clips that support that, but I want to make that clear. Like, I do understand there's a thing called, like, you can't just park your trailer wherever you want. I know that that's not a thing. I'm not that ignorant. And I'm not dissing trailers either. I like I said, I dated a guy who lived in a trailer and it was really nice. I mean, it was as nice as some of the 1-bedroom apartments you can find around here. Let me tell you that. It's a lot nicer. But I just wanted to make it clear that when I think of rent, I think of something very, very different than that. And I believe it kind of, especially when it was used as a put down that I own everything that I have. I don't, it's gross. You'll hear her say that, and it's to put Jess down. So yes, without further ado, let me get my caffeine here. I don't know what this is. It's like a new energy drink, and for whatever reason, it got shipped. Well, I do marketing, so sometimes I get free stuff. Not as much as I used to. But this is from a brand called Oxy Shred. Okay. And it's this big rainbow can. And it's called Energy Reimagined. And the flavor is gummy snake. Oh, see, Ariana. See, I'm being a snake. You want to drop that snake and bee emoji? Why are you so obsessed with me? Girl, I want to know. Lying that you're texting me. See, I censored myself there. And everybody knows. Okay, yeah. It's too early to be singing. All right. Anyways, people are probably like, I am shutting this off right the fuck now, Beeplus. But yeah. And of course, yes. We're going to get into it. I do have my payment information down at the bottom there, in case anybody wants to send some love my way. Obviously no obligation, no pressure, nothing like that, but any and everything is greatly appreciated. It's been a rough, I'd say 2 months for me financially, and I put a lot of time and effort into my videos, and it's a nice little way to support channels like myself that don't always go live. You can also do this, and not just for me, for any channel you want. I mean, sky's the limit. So right here, you can, I know you already liked my video. So, where you see that blue place where you liked it, right? So you scroll over to the right and you hit that thanks button right there. And you can send me monetary donations that way as well. And I'm still going to read this every single time I pull this up until I'm blue in the face. We're going to read, again, Team YouTube's response to Natasha Cooper on May 14th. Because I'm not sure if it's this clip or the other where Dorothy is adamantly defending the fact that Natasha is not gone because of terms of service. But I've proven it. So, all right, from Team YouTube at Team YouTube on May 14th, 2022. We've checked your channel and it shows that it has been terminated due to circumvention and violations of our terms of service. If you have a previous account that's suspended for policy breaches, you're not allowed to own or create any new ones. And if you have not seen my video explaining this, I will put the link to that one in the description below if you want to check that one out as well. But just wanted to remind people of that. So that's right, Natasha. No, she wasn't booted for terms of service. I beg to differ. I also want to say that there is in this clip in the end of it a part that I wish I had edited out because it involves something that I don't really want on this video, but it's there, it's here, it's a pain in the ass to fix. So we're just going to go through it. And I mean, actually, there's a wholesome point at the end of it. And because I heard through the grapevine, actually, it wasn't through the grapevine, I saw it myself, that a certain group of people were making fun of my armpits. Because I had posted a picture of myself about a month ago, and you know, apparently you could see like deodorant and stubble on my armpit, which apparently was really funny to this group of people. So I'm not really sure what's funny. I think it might have been this picture. It might have been this picture, and they were like zooming in right here to, you know, go look at all that, which is weird. But yeah, you all want to make fun of my armpits? Here you go. Screenshot it. Go ahead. Make fun of my armpits. Go for it. Sky, yeah, have a good time. Say, we'll even take this down for you. Want to zoom in and make fun of my armpits? You want to make fun of like the fact that I have like, I don't know, whatever that is here. But whatever. I just wanted to show you all that and let you know that there are some people on here from opposing camps that are petty as fuck, and we're making fun of my armpits of all things. You know, I mean, I'm not bothered. I mean, whatever. Like, I guess there's worse things you could call me and make fun of, because we all know that even if you like get the invisible deodorant, sometimes it's going to get on your shirt. And ladies, let me know in the comments below, do you shave your armpits every day? Because, you know, I forget, you know, I'm a busy woman. I have a life, and sometimes I forget to do so. So stubble really least of my concerns. But let's get started with this, because I've already bored you guys to death. Don't forget to like and subscribe, though. All right, let's do this and finish this up.
Somebody who can dish it, but can't take it. What's wrong, guys? Now you're not going to tell her that she's a bad mother for being live 10 hours yesterday? Anybody in her community going to say the shit that you guys said to me when I was live for almost 11 hours or 11 hours? You have a problem with it? Huh? Even though my Jerry was at my sister's, but you guys had a problem with it? She sounded quite obsessed yesterday, and like she was on some type of, I don't know, delusional rant. Didn't sound sane. She sounded aggressive. She sounds like she's not in her right state of mind. Just saying, just an observation. I mean, 10 hours. Whew. And I only got one. She's got two.
So, Dorothy, let me stop you here. So, she is discussing the fact that Granny's watching had been live for, I don't know, it was like 11 hours one day. And Dorothy is saying that that is more unhinged and horrible than the time that she was on, like, for an entire weekend. Dorothy, I know that you think you're being slick by pointing out, like, individual lives, but if you go through the amount of time that you're live in separate ones, because, like, you'll do, like, 3 hours here and then 5 hours there and then 8 hours there. I have counted the time in between that you would have in between. Like, you are live, I would say at least 75% before your medical incident. You were live for 75% of your like existence for almost a week, if not more, because it was like you would be live for 4 hours and then you would be on somebody else's panel for 2, and then you'd be back on your live. So it all adds up. It's not like it's just in one shot. So ma'am, you are the unhinged one and the one who is spending most of your life on the internet. And I'm really sorry if people don't like hearing this, but I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, Dorothy, maybe you have superpowers or something, but if I spent the amount of time that you do online, whether, and not just on your own panel, on other people's panels, in other people's chats, because I see you there as well. How on earth do you have time to do all of that on YouTube? You stay up all night. And yes, sometimes your lives are separated with like an hour in between. But even with that, a human being cannot be getting adequate sleep, keep house, take care of their family, take care of themselves, and then apparently you were doing transcribing. No wonder it didn't work out. I mean, you cannot possibly be doing the things that you need to be doing in life with the amount of time that you're online. And you can be in denial all you want and say that you were only online for like a really obscene amount of time one weekend. No, it's not just that time. It's constantly. The week before you had your medical incident, you were online far more than you weren't. And if it wasn't on your own channel, it was on somebody else's. I've done the math. I have the whole thing listed. It's in one of my other videos. We will go through just how much time you were on that week before. There is no way that you could have been possibly keeping up with your health being online that much. And I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. If you know that you have these severe health issues, if you know that, and you want to be your best self for the people that depend on you, you're going to take care of yourself. You don't let your health run out of control like that, especially when you know what's going on. That is not okay. That's not okay. It is our responsibility as parents to do everything we can to be here as long as we can. That's my opinion, and that's where I stand on that. Yeah, and not only that, but also like, how on earth are you doing? You can't take care of yourself, your house, or anybody else with the amount of time that you spend online. I'm sorry, it's a fact. It's my. I can't argue. Nobody, you can't argue with that. I mean, I don't know if any. I mean, I understand that the drugs are or something, and perhaps she's able to get all that stuff done if she's under the influence of certain drugs. But a crash is imminent, and I called it before I even found out what had happened to her. I don't want to go into my personal experiences because this isn't the place for it. But if before anybody comes at me and says, "Well, Beeplus, you don't know what you're talking about," I know exactly what I'm talking about. And she knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm sure many of you do as well. So let's continue.
Who? I wonder.
Make it something it's not.
This is what this community has fostered.
Actually, I also want to point out as well is that my memory may be incorrect on this, but I think it's worth pointing out anyways. Okay? And I know this is going to probably piss people off either way that I say it, but this is my memory of it. Okay? So that weekend, now I don't know if her child was out of the house the entire weekend, but I do remember there was one of those nights where I saw in other chats that people were saying about Dorothy that she that her child had wanted her to make something for food and that she just ignored him or something. I don't recall it happening. I didn't see that personally. I want to make that clear, but I do remember I either messaged her or said in a chat, which I'd love to be able to find, saying, because she had mentioned that her older son was home making tacos, and they were making tacos together. So her and him and the younger one. So I remember saying, do you hear these people saying that, you're home, they're making tacos together. So my understanding, and maybe this was a different weekend, but it seems interesting that now you're saying he wasn't in the house when people have started to come at you about this particular issue. Now, I could be wrong. I want to make it very clear that this is speculative. This is not speculative, but this is my memory, and my memory isn't always or else I have like corroborating clips to jog my memory. I'm not really sure. I don't know if anybody else was there that can clarify this. I mean, she's online for marathon amounts of time many times, so maybe not. But I do remember. It was probably in a chat because I don't think I messaged her this. Because I was looking. I looked in our text messages to see if I could find it. And I don't think I said it to her there. But I did say, I don't know why they're saying that. I thought that they were both home making tacos together or something. But I could be wrong. So I'm not sure which it is. So let's continue. For what it's worth, just wanted to throw my 2 cents in.
This is what Granny and Cam and Clapton are doing. You have to phone the internet and raise your kids.
I mean, fair.
I'm really concerned.
Okay, let's play this.
There's a young adult who's vulnerable living in a home with such violence. I mean, that's just me.
So Dorothy is saying here that she is concerned about the fact that Kim's son lives in their house, even though he's an adult. Somebody had to point that out to her, though, because she was ranting on and on and on, and that video's down, of course, about how there's a child experiencing violence in their home, where, you know, Kim's son is an adult, but she's basically saying, and I believe he does have special needs. I believe he is autistic. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that was my understanding of it. So she's saying that, you know, he's a vulnerable adult and lives at home. So, and he shouldn't be exposed to what's going on in Kim and Crafton's home. So I find that very interesting. Pot, neat, kettle. You know, just saying.
I am filing a police report tomorrow. The one with my son Christian, where she's telling over 300 people to go check on my son's Facebook. So whether they passed on my son's last name?
No one passed on your son's last name. Dorothy, you scream it all the time. You always say it. I have many clips, which I'll play for everybody. If people don't believe me, I'm sure you've heard it yourself if you listen to Dorothy, where she says her son's name, her full name, and because she's gone on about it. She's like, well, he doesn't have a middle name. And, you know, she's told all these stories and her, like, you know, her rants. And that was one of them. And I remember it because yeah. So there was one time, there was the other time where in that live with CJ, where, you know, you were screaming about making accounts in kids' names and that, you know, admitting to it, which, by the way, still, I've never done that. I'm going to say that every opportunity I get. I did not do that. That was not me. I don't know who did that, but I didn't see it, but it was not me. But you screamed his entire name in that rant as well. So no, nobody's passing around his information. I also want to make it clear that the Facebook that she's talking about, I'm not going to repeat what was said on it. However, her explanation was it was an account that her now 21-year-old son had when he was 11. And it had been hacked. Somebody else made those posts. He hasn't had access to that Facebook since he was 11. And that's why it said those things, that he doesn't know why it said those things. So that wasn't him that said it. So how are they directing people to his Facebook if it's something he hasn't used since he was 11? That doesn't make sense to me. That's not a current Facebook. And nor is it your minor son's Facebook that you started to put out. Nobody was digging into your son who is underage. Nobody. And you scream your older son's entire name from the rooftops. Now, I don't know what your younger son's last name is, and I have no interest in knowing because I don't care about those things. I've never so much as Googled anybody from YouTube. I've Googled some phone numbers that I've gotten texts from, but that's about it. But yeah, I found that to be very, very interesting that she would go on and on about that, because nobody was going into anything like that. And I don't know why, because if it was hacked and he didn't write those things. Also, I also, and there's another clip in here that goes hand in hand with this, but does anybody know what the age for terms of service for Facebook is? I want to say it's 13. Am I right? I could be wrong. You know, because we do have the moral parenting police like Mel, you know, over from Natasha's community, who say that Granny's watching should be locked up, like in prison, and that she's a bad parent because her son has a YouTube channel where he posts videos of him gaming. It's not like he's live streaming or chatting or anything like that. He's literally just posting video clips of himself. He's not like interacting. But she said it's against terms of service. So I'm just curious what the terms of service for a Facebook account is. But let's continue. And I have more on a more current example of that for our friend Dorothy coming up soon.
No, I'm not shocked, actually. And those were just caught quickly. So I'm asking if anybody sees those types of comments. Again, whoops. Oh my God. Hold on 1 second. I got to take care of something. You just got to sit there for a second, folks. I'm very sorry.
Sounds like her dog is humping
God.
something. What is going? Like, can we talk about this for a second? What is this theme of creators not fixing their animals? Why don't we do that? I mean, honestly, like if I was to see a PayPal pool or a GoFundMe to get animals spayed and neutered, I would definitely contribute to that because there are a couple creators that seem to just have a real problem with that, and a problem that would be easily solved by spaying and neutering your animals. We have overcrowding, especially down south. I mean, up here we don't have a lot of stray dogs because we do have spay and neuter laws. So, or else you intend to breed and you get the licensure to do so, your animal must be spayed or neutered here. But they don't have those laws down south or leash laws at all, from my understanding. So there's a lot of puppies, and that's why the whole Southern Rescue thing is a thing where they bring truckloads of puppies up from the south up here to be adopted out. That's where I got both of mine. They're from Arkansas. But yes, so I don't understand the issue with that. I mean, there's quite a few of them, and I mean, rest in peace, buddy. But it doesn't that sound like he's like humping something? Like I don't know what that noise is.
Oh, good. I remembered. Okay. Oh, no, it's not what I wanted. Okay, hold on. Oh. I'll be right back, guys. I got a, the Clapback Queen channel has a live scheduled. Here we go. Let me go into it. And cancel it.
Y'all notice how Dorothy used to go on and on and on and on and on and on about how, like, I don't know what the story was, or that Kelly or Broken Justice or one of the two or both of them, I don't know, doxed her. Remember that? Remember when she was, and I'm specifically talking about Kelly, that she would used to rant and rant and rant. And then suddenly when everybody got cool with Natasha, suddenly she was doing live saying that Kelly never doxed her. And now she's back to saying that Kelly did dox her. So which is it, Dorothy? Like, it seems to change, whoever you have allegiance to, or whoever is in, like, your bad side. You're going back and forth with information. She either doxed you or she didn't. So that's an inconsistency, and I think you do well to clarify it because that's a serious thing. So did she dox you or did she not dox you? Which is it though? Like, if she's friends with the Natasha, is it gonna, if Kelly and Natasha make up, is it gonna go back to that Dorothy, are you gonna say that she didn't dox you again? Because this is very confusing for the subscribers and viewers. And people want to know. I mean, that's a pretty serious allegation.
Yeah, today's the 14th at 5 p.m., right? Like, yep, that was me. Camera slip, oops, and owned it. You Clintons. You had to just get all done up and come on. And you are pretty. I mean, are you the most beautiful girl in the world? Absolutely not. No, but you're pretty. And we have a lot of pretty girls. Have you seen Luffa? She's dead gorgeous.
So Dorothy's been saying this a lot lately, that Luffa, and who the fuck names himself Luffa on here? And yes, I am quite angry at Luffa right now because of the chaos that she has caused recently, because she got her feelings hurt. So Dorothy has said that Luffa is drop dead gorgeous and is just so beautiful. Are we talking about the same Luffa? I mean, I think that there's only one person weird enough to name themselves Luffa on YouTube, so I'm sure we are talking about the same person. The same person that even Natasha Cooper herself mentioned back around Christmas time. I believe Christiane was up on that panel. I believe Siren was up on that panel. So I'm sure they remember this as well. When even Natasha, pointed out that Luffa uses her daughter's photos and says that it's her, and has taken photos off the internet of other people's children and said that it's her grandchildren. So Dorothy, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe Luffa is beautiful. If you've seen like her pictures of who she actually is, maybe you've seen those. But as for the rest of us, the picture that she tries to pass off as herself, that's her daughter. And it's not like she has a picture of her daughter and is like, wow, look at my daughter, isn't she gorgeous? No, it's not that. It's she's saying that's me. Luffa's in her 50s. So I'm a little confused about that. I mean, it just screams tall, hot blonde vibes to me. If any of you guys in the true crime community, it was also a Lifetime movie, go look up Tall, Hot Blonde. And and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. It's hard to find. The Lifetime movie is easy to find, but the documentary that was done about it, I'm not going to ruin it because the plot twist is just insane, and it's a true story. But it doesn't end well. But that's what this reminds me of. So I just wanted to let everybody know, if you weren't aware, is that Luffa likes to is it LARPing? Can we call it LARPing? Live action role playing. On YouTube role playing as her daughter, passing off her daughter's pictures as her own, and not only that, but using other people's pictures of their children and saying that it's her grandchildren. So basically, she fabricates everything. Like, I don't understand it. So Dorothy, I mean, maybe she is beautiful and in her real pictures, but or else you've seen her real pictures. You have no grounds to even discuss that. And the only reason I'm putting that in here is I'm really sick and tired of all of that. You know, this is a woman who cried and pulled at everybody's heartstrings because, you know, she said that people were hurting her feelings and that, you know, she was upset about that. And she had to, like, you know, get off of YouTube. And then her quote unquote daughter, which we all think, and I think somebody has proof of it, but was her coming in and saying that, you know, she is in a really bad mental place because Siren was in the chat or something. And it turned out it was her doing that. So it was weird. And I don't know about anybody else, but somebody who does stuff like that is, I don't know, kind of not well, in my opinion. So, but this is somebody who I felt bad for. This is somebody who I thought, you know, people were bullying, and, you know, because that's how she made it sound. And then she goes on to make these clip channels saying the most horrendous, vile things about grannies watching. So if you want to play games, like, you know, if you're going to come on here and you're going to make clip videos and say really nasty things. And Luffa, have you noticed that, you know, neither Natasha nor Dorothy have kept their mouth shut about where they get information from? They will always throw you under the bus, especially Natasha. Natasha always makes it very clear that it was you, Luffa, who sent her the information. She doesn't care if she calls you out. She does that for a reason. They both do that for a reason, very purposely, because they want people to know who's being a little snake. You know, Dorothy and Ariana, because I don't know why you need to double your name. I mean, you're kind of a miserable human being all on your own. I don't know why there needs to be two of you. You know, y'all call me a sneaky snake. Well, you guys are surrounding yourselves with sneaky snakes with brand new sneakers laced up for sneaking, all on your own. But that's neither here nor there. But I wanted to say that about Luffa because I'm really tired of that. If you're going to make clip videos, you're going to talk shit, you're going to send people information about other people, then I have no sympathy for you. Of whatever repercussions that you get from that, zero sympathy. I don't feel bad. I'm not going to feel bad. You reap what you sow. If you come on here and you talk about somebody else, don't be surprised if they talk about you back. That's how this works. Everybody who's in this community understands that that's how this works. So the next breakdown that happens, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I don't have any sympathy for that. No. Moving on.
Girls, a lot. So you put on your good lighting and everything else, and your little filters. AJ does it too. With her filters. It's okay.
Ladies or men or gentlemen, drop in the chat. If you were to come on to a live online, would you rather put a filter on than not? I think most people have some sort of insecurity with themselves that they would prefer to use a filter if they knew how. You know, and Dorothy, didn't you come on all dolled up? No, let's talk about that. Let's talk about your latest appearance on camera. So you claim that you had some teeth knocked out when you fell. So to have teeth knocked out if you fell, you would have to have like literally face planted onto something or hit something sharp or something. So I don't think that quite went as you planned, because first of all, you just revealed that you look like, you know, you look unwell. You look like some people I've seen at concerts in Texas who think that they look perfectly normal and that nobody can tell that they're tweaking. But everybody knows. Everybody knows. And I'm not saying that about you. I'm just saying the appearance wise, you know, of course, I could never say for certain whether you're doing anything, right? I mean, we're just speculating here. I went to go see Vanilla Ice in Texas, in Gun Barrel City, and oh my, oh my, there was this one woman, and I was, I was trying to videotape, and she wouldn't get out of my video. Like, I didn't want to look at her because first of all, it was creepy. Like the way her body was moving, it wasn't natural, and it was constant. She was like twitching, and it was bad. It was really bad. I was actually very concerned for her, but she kept moving into like my frame of view, and I'm like, I don't want to look at you. Like, you're terrifying. You look like you should be from like a horror movie of like, that's not how human beings are supposed to move. But yes. Anyways, moving on from that. But yeah, you don't look right. But second of all, where's the bruises on your face? I mean, it's only been a week since that. Bruises take a while to heal, so I can't help but feel like it just Amber Hearded us. If you were to hit your mouth like that, I know for a fact that you'd have bruises on your face, and I didn't see any bruises on your face. Zero whatsoever. So yeah, that's interesting. It's very, very interesting. And I know some other people noticed that as well. So yeah, where's the bruises? Because your story isn't adding up. It's not adding up. And more people are seeing it.
We all want to look up that. Who the hell hasn't? Oh, I've missed you. Wait, noodle mash. There it is. Thank you. I had a brain fart. Kama is a bitch.
Sure is.
I'm Kama. I love that. Hi, Kama. If I missed you, sweetheart. I haven't seen you. You're busy. I like your videos. You're doing such a good job. Did you see my intro to Luffa? Did you take a moment to look at it? Do you want me to play it? That took me like 10 hours, bro. 10 hours. I mean, I would make a little bit of progress, and I'd have huge steps.
Videos do take a lot of work, which is what I find so frustrating. And I'm going to use this to bitch a little bit, which is what I find so frustrating about this whole YouTube and this community and stuff is that, if you don't, even if you like go live or whatever, and you don't go live, and I mean, it takes me hours to put together my videos, my little clip videos. It takes me forever to put all of that with the commentary. These videos, just gathering and putting together these clips, takes me several hours. Yet there's very little reward for it. That's all I'm going to say about that. So it's like the more work you put into what you do, the less people think it's valuable. So it kind of sucks. But I do it because I feel like this is something that needs to be done. I feel like people need to have this information, and I enjoy coming on here and talking about it with you guys. And I love my community very, very much. So, but if you want to help and you want to, kind of give me an incentive to do this, if you like and subscribe, that would be wonderful. I would greatly appreciate that at the very least. But yeah, so it doesn't surprise me. I mean, 10 hours, I think, for an intro is a little excessive. But it's Dorothy, so, I guess it makes sense.
I already shared it to my community. Whoever has community posts, if you want to go share it, the makeup sale to your community post, it's not a violation. Nobody has to worry about that. You could just say, this is going on right now if you want. If you feel like you don't want to mention certain words or something, that's up to you. It's your channel. Noodle Mashers.
So Dorothy is saying here that people should go share the fact that Natasha Cooper was having a makeup sale to their community tab if they had a community tab. So first she says it's not against a violation. And then she continues, and then she says, it's up to you. You can even say it without using certain words if you're not comfortable doing that. It is your channel. So basically what she's suggesting is that she knows why people would be hesitant to share the fact that there's a makeup sale going on, and maybe they wouldn't want to use certain terminology and that's their channel, so it's their choice. That says a lot to me. That says a lot. And I think you're mistaken that it's not against. There's a technical issue with that. That's for a different video. However, I think it's very telling that she also tells people that they don't have to mention certain words if they don't want to. They can just say this is going on and share, but it's up to them, because it's their channel. If they don't feel comfortable doing it. So if there was nothing wrong with it, why wouldn't people feel comfortable doing that? These are all diehard Natasha supporters. Just wondering.
Showing she's still alive. Oh, probably because I need to refresh my computer. Yeah. So, butthurt that her dad was mentioned. Oh, really? Wasn't she going after Dalton nonstop, bringing up Glenn's girlfriend, telling him to go jerk off? But when he comes back at her with the comment, now he's a sexual harasser. I don't respect that. You're gonna get what you give in this world. She's a
okay. So here she is. saying that she's mentioning when Natasha brought up Jess's dad and went on and on about that, which was absolutely disgusting. And that was actually one of my very first big wake-up calls and big thing, not wake-up calls, but things I had a huge issue with that made it so like neutrality was not going to be a thing anymore. It was when that happened. I'm not going to be neutral about that. That was wrong. And she's comparing it. She's comparing Natasha coming on and posting an article and reading an article that's very personal about Jess's father, who has nothing to do with YouTube, to just making jokes about Dalton. Like, you know, Jess really wants your man, Natasha. No, I don't find joking around like that disrespectful either. It's called a sense of humor, and you know, all of you seem to have one until, you know, it's convenient for you not to, which I believe that's one of these cases. And as for Glenn, Glenn is actually even more guilty than Natasha Cooper in this matter. Because I'm not sure if Natasha Cooper posted the unredacted article. She claims that she only said, I'm not going to say Jess's last name again because I'm not going to perpetuate that information, but she says that she only said Mr. last name, insert last name here. She said that she never said his first name. So I didn't watch it, so I'm not sure if that happened or not. The fact that she brought that article up at all and like basically showed people how to search for it themselves, I think that's a problem. But what Glenn did is Glenn posted that entire article without any redactions to his community post. So for you to compare anything like it's like apples to oranges with Dorothy. Well, Dorothy, what you do is despicable too. But what Glenn did and what Natasha did, and comparing it to Dalton, it's not even in the same like universe there, at all. Because Glenn literally did dox her dad. So like, okay. I saw it. I have a screenshot of the community post, which I guess if people need more proof, I guess I could post that as well. You'll see it. It has a link to the article that is, you know, so it's a link, so it's not redacted. And then some screenshots of some choice points of it, including her father's full name. I believe he took it down, but don't worry, I have screenshots. So yeah, there's that. And you know, joking about Dalton is like a sense of humor. Y'all have a sense of humor until it's convenient for you not to, so you can play victim.
The fucking victim all the time in every situation. She's a hypocrite and a liar. How does she have a leg to stand on to create a channel to speak out against Natasha when she has a worse criminal record than all of us put together? I've told you guys I've broken the law. I just didn't get caught.
So what's the difference? You want to know what the difference is, Dorothy? So you say that she has a criminal record. You've broken the law several times, but you've never gotten caught. So here's how I look at it. Morally, you are in worse standing. And here's why. Because Jess has a criminal record. So she has gone through the court system and she has paid her dues to society as the courts have, you know, deemed fit. You have not. You have broken laws and you have had no consequences for it, and you have not paid back to society. I myself have broken the law many, many times and have not gotten caught. But does that make me a better person? No, it doesn't make me a better person. Not even close. So that doesn't even make sense. Your argument is invalid. In fact, I would say that you and I are the worst of the people because we have not, you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you guys? And I'm lumping myself in here too. You know, we can go there. I mean, that's fine, but let's continue.
Buying drugs is breaking the law. I had a drug problem. Calling my drug dealer and meeting him and publicly buying drugs is against the law. You just never got caught. I don't have a problem with people who have criminal records, but I have a problem with he's 11. I do.
Okay. Oh, well, this is the part that I wanted to kind of edit out because I don't want this other woman has nothing to do with it. But here they are discussing their children, and I let it go on a little bit too long, so please don't judge me too harshly for it. She does make a point at the end that I also want to second in here, but listen to this. So, Mel, if you're listening, or I think you changed your name to Exuma, if you're listening, I really hope you're listening to this.
Yes, he is 11.
Do you think Roblox and shit?
He does. He is
Let's get
addicted.
them booked up because Jerry would love that.
I know. I was thinking that same thing because my kid is like, he needs to go on a play date.
Oh, then we have that's what you can do with the virtual.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Jerry usually talks to his friends from his cell phone on Snapchat, and then they'll play from the computer.
Okay. I have a problem with this. All right. If other people are allowed to talk about this, I'm going to talk about this. I have a big problem with this. So Snapchat, right? Just Google Snapchat and, associations with bad things happening to kids. And you will see an overwhelming avalanche of articles about um, bad things that have happened to children because of Snapchat. So if people are going to come on here and criticize Granny's Watching's parenting and say that she should be locked up and is a bad parent because her son has a YouTube channel where he posts clips of himself playing games, not interacting with other people, just posting the clips of his games. If you have a problem with that, and you don't have a problem with the fact that Dorothy's 11-year-old son is talking to probably strangers, let's be honest, on Snapchat, that's an issue. Also, you're welcome to go Google this if you don't believe me, but terms of service for Snapchat, you must be 13 to have a Snapchat account. I don't believe your son's 13. Is he, Dorothy? I don't believe he is. I believe he's 11. You just said so. So why does he have a Snapchat account? Does that make you a bad parent for not, taking care of that? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't say Jess is a despicable parent, and then allow your son to have a Snapchat. So if you want to compare the two, I know that Mel said that there's a lot of CPs who find kids in the gaming community. Well, I challenge you to go Google that and see how many of those are because of Snapchat and not because of somebody just posting a YouTube video, because I think you'll be very surprised. Snapchat is dangerous. Dangerous. I do not like Snapchat. I am not comfortable with Snapchat. Now, yeah, that is something that I believe that if your kid has that, I mean, I know that kids can get around just about anything, but at that age, they shouldn't have one at all. First of all. Secondly, that needs to be highly monitored. Your child should not be talking to strangers on Snapchat. That's no. But I'm just here to point out that you can't have it both ways. So you're breaking terms of service too, Dorothy. There, right? I mean, you got to be 13. So if Jess should be locked up, I guess you should too.
My son's a little shy, so it's going to take some time. He is autistic.
This is the part that I wish I had edited out, so I apologize. But at the end, Dorothy does say something that I want to second.
Oh, okay.
It does take him some time to warm up to friends. We're working on that.
So what about not talking and playing?
They could play, and he could get used to talking to him.
Okay.
Once he's used to him, he'll be better.
Oh, okay. All right, that sounds fine. No, my son's a very considerate, kind. Oh, he's fine for my son.
I will second that. Dorothy's younger son seems like a really sweet, sweet little boy. And that's what makes my heart break even more. Honestly. And oh my God, I'm going to tear up. What the fuck? No, it does. It breaks my heart for him. But yeah, I think she's right there. He does. He sounds like a really sweet, kind boy. But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, so is mine.
Yeah, he's very in and out. It'd be quickie. I might even pull out.
Oh.
It don't work. No.
I'll probably leave a mess over there, but that's all right. Listen, so we have
Gross. Dorothy. Ew. Oh, Dorothy. Dorothy, you talking about sex. Let's talk about sex, Dorothy. Or no, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about Dorothy. Please don't. I have a whole video of reacting to her singing, and we're going to be like American Idol judges. We're going to have some fun with that too, guys. We're going to have some fun, but that's for a different video. But,
happened was, so fucking liars. So I just got my mouth shut. The fourth thing that she said about Boss Lady, was she didn't like how you just stay up at night. I said, what do you mean? Fuck her. I'm not working right now. I have to have the balloon thing done. I don't fucking work right now. I'll sleep at night.
Did she get that? She has the balloon thing, which is the surgery that there was a lot of confusion as to about whether, I don't know if she even had it done or not. So that's part of taking care of yourself, Dorothy, is going in and having the health procedures that you need to have done. Which I don't believe that you did, because at first you were having it one day, and then you said that you scheduled it for the next day, and then the next day, and with the C word going on, you don't, and even before that, for that matter, I mean, you don't just make a surgery and you schedule it and then reschedule it. I mean, they're usually booked out. I mean, especially these days with hospitals the way that they are, you don't just decide what day. It's not like a walk-in thing. You don't just decide when you're going to go have surgery. And then you said you went, but then checked yourself out and didn't have the surgery. You said that at one point. I have the entire saga of clips, which I will also go through at some point with everybody. So did you end up having that surgery at all? I don't believe that you did. In my opinion, Maybe somebody can correct me on that, but it does appear that YouTube was more important than taking care of her own health. And I can't help but wonder if, if she had been taking better care of her health. And people need to understand that I understand that diabetes can cause a lot of stuff, but what exacerbates her diabetes? So her not taking care of herself, because she's lived with this for since she was a child, I think she said. So she knows how to deal with, her medical issues. She's lived with it her whole life, and it seems that most of the time she does have it under control. Otherwise, these medical events would happen more frequently. But over the past couple of months, since I believe I've seen a huge change in her behavior and being erratic, and where I believe she very likely fell off the wagon, and I think I can probably pinpoint exactly when that happened too. Yeah, and I'm actually going to save something else that I want to talk about for another video. I'm going to get a lot of shit for it too. I'm going to get a lot of shit for it, but actually, if it gets brought up in this video, so be it. Whatever. But then when you're in active addiction, a lot of the time you stop taking care of yourself, because your priorities get mixed up. I mean, especially with certain things, you like hyperfixate on things, or you think that you're fine and you're really, really not. And, your focus is on the drug. It's not on taking care of yourself. So I think we could avoid medical situations like this, because people need to understand that it's not one or the other. I believe the two issues, her underlying medical issues, plus the polysubstance abuse that is on her own record. That I didn't put that out. She did. Which, if she wasn't responsive, probably wouldn't have been self-reported. That probably was from a drug, like a blood drug test because if you come in unconscious, they're going to do a drug test on you. And it was reported, it said, in June. So it wasn't like from a previous medical. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but this is just how I see it. And it does not include nicotine. I don't care what she says, because I have had that diagnosis on paperwork of mine as well. And I actually don't smoke, believe it or not. So definitely, and I asked my mom, who would know a lot about this, and she said no, nicotine is not it. It has its own. So does alcohol. Alcohol also has its own classification. So yeah, miss me with that. But yeah, I truly believe that if she could take some time off of YouTube and go take care of her health, but she doesn't. She's on YouTube 24/7. She can't possibly be taking care of herself, let alone anybody else, or keep house or do anything. Like you don't have enough time in the day. It's not natural.
Really, it's not what I want. Some people don't sleep as much as others. I've had issues sleeping. I don't take sleeping meds or narcotics. So what?
Don't believe that. I don't believe that you don't. Not for a second. But, we can keep on with that narrative. This is, yeah. Nope. Not buying it. That sounds very defensive. No! Wait, guys. Hold on. I lost my place here.
The hypocrite.
It's gonna take some time. He is.
I'll probably leave him as fucks. It's my business when I sleep. When I'm 51 years old, I got this. So you're trying to insinuate, huh, ladies? I didn't even know if that fucking came from her, but if it did, I really don't give two fucks.
Sorry.
It was. So, first, I've had issues sleeping. I don't take sleeping meds or narcotics. So, what? I didn't even know if that fucking came from her, but if it did, I really don't give two fucks. It's my business when I sleep. When I'm 51 years old, I got this.
Very defensive.
So you're trying to insinuate, huh, ladies? If I can sleep 4 or 5 hours a day, that is an amazing one sleep for me. Just don't sleep well. Not everybody sleeps well. It's really none of your fucking business. I live in a town of 360 people. So
very defensive. I've never heard anybody get defensive like this, or else they have something to hide.
if I'm going to go on the internet to socialize instead of sitting here watching TV by myself, this is how I'm supposed to do it. It's nobody's business. No life, because it's a free country. I pay for my internet, I have a computer, I'll use it as I wish. Thank you very much. So I realized, of course, she's talking to boss lady. So much. Like, what is wrong with you? Maybe it's getting all juicy because it wants to have some unprotected one-night stand, dangerous sex.
Oh my.
It's just getting lubed up, ready. See? Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's all I can come up with. Because you were fixated on ass crack juice. That's weird, Robbie.
Oh, okay. So here she is coming at Save Robbie. Which, I don't know. This comment seems a little off color, if you ask me.
Oh, and you keep talking about things that are none of your business. If we don't check this behavior, What's the next thing? People in this community are going to start demanding that we prove. What? That one of our family members died? Do they want us to prove that? You know what I mean? With marriage certificates, divorce documents, like what? I can't even believe that they've got away with this for this long. That people have been sitting there listening to this shit about a woman, her body, her pregnancy, her uterus, which is none of nobody's business on YouTube. You know? Some women are having pregnancies that are very fragile, they're on bed rest, and these people doing something like that to somebody in a delicate situation could end very badly. They need to fucking mind over.
How interesting. How interesting. So I think that, I mean, the clip that I really wanted to put in there is where she says, and I think this is in another video, where she says that the only people that should be concerned with a woman's reproductive and, you know, their uterus is the woman themselves and their husband, not YouTube. So why are you ranting and raving about another woman's uterus, Dorothy? If it's not okay for one person, why is it okay for something you don't like? Shut the fuck up. Seriously, I'm really tired of that. I'm tired of these double fucking standards, this hypocrisy, where it's only okay if it's against somebody on your own side or that you don't like. And it's not okay for somebody you defend. So I know that you and this person are having issues now. So is it okay to talk about that now? Probably. It's probably fair game to talk about that now. I have no desire to. I don't really even know who that person is. Except that they were associated with you, which doesn't, you know, that that says a lot. But yeah, out of your own mouth, we shouldn't be concerned with what goes on inside other people's bodies. But because you want to get involved in this, Dorothy, I have no issue discussing the things that I'm discussing here. Zero. You reap what you sow.
Let's fight them out. GoFundMe's? Granny does them. They're all over her fucking page. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Wishlist. Granny does them. What the fuck is she calling out?
So that's what I was talking about. So before, like early on, she had a huge issue with people dropping their PayPals, Cash Apps, and wish lists, especially wish lists. She had a big issue with it. Yet now that's all she does. Since she's been hanging out with Natasha, even prior to her incident, she has been dropping her wish list, her Amazon wish list, Cash App, PayPal, any way that you can possibly send her money regularly, and having her mods drop it. So was it okay or is it not? So it's starting to feel kind of scammy to me, Dorothy. I'm not going to lie to you. I believe yesterday on Country Joe's panel, Naughty Audie came up and explained some things that I think people need to know about. So if Country Joe gives me permission and if it's okay with Naughty Audie, I mean, I'll see if I can find a way to get a hold of her. I'd love to clip that as something that I would like my subscribers to hear as well, because she did a wonderful job to clearly, concisely, and eloquently explain to everybody why something isn't adding up with what Dorothy asks for money for, why something's not adding. And she does it so well, and she knows what she's talking about. This is what she does for a living. So I think that more people need to know that. I truly do. Because I have some words on it, but I can't explain it as well as she did. So if you want to check that out, I believe that was Country Joe's last live from yesterday, called Back in Business, I believe. I will put a link to that in the description as well if you want to hear what Naughty Audie has to say, explaining why what she's talking about needing money for medically doesn't make sense. Based on, let's just say I have a clip of Dorothy admitting that she has insurance. Let's just leave it at that.
She threatened to go after her daughter, Hannah. I will go after your daughter every fucking time.
See, these are threats. I'm sorry, they are. She says she's never threatened. She said at the beginning of the video that I posted yesterday about that she'll go after your, I believe, I'm sure she's talking about Jess or Kim or somebody, go after somebody's kids. That's what she says. And oh my God, guys. So I'm going to end this segment here. And hopefully, okay. Oh, we're already at an hour for time. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to end this right now. So this is the end of part 1. Yesterday was part 0.5. This is the second half of that. I will try to drop part 2 today. I hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys very, very soon.